Yeah, he's doing his thing. He's doing his thing. No shame, huh?
Okay.
Touch. Thank you. Good boy. Hey. Yeah, there you go. Good boy. Look at me. Thank you. Good job. Thanks. Up here. Yes, good. Perfect. Hi friends, I'm Chris with Happy Tails Pet Care. I'm an Animal Behavior College certified dog trainer, and today we're here to just talk about my training methods and why I choose the ones I do, and why they're proven to work. I've seen a lot of things are going around on different social media platforms about how people train their dogs, and of course there's a few different schools of thoughts when it comes to this. And they each have their own advantages and disadvantages. And many trainers have different methods on how they go about things. And, you know, as a professional trainer, you have to respect others and how they choose to train their dog or their clients' dogs. However, I don't want you to be misled by information that is not scientifically backed. So I've seen many different things throughout my time being a professional trainer. I've had people tell me they pinch their dog's ears until the dog submits, or grab the scruff and shake it. All of those things create a different kind of relationship than what I have with Beckett. And I think really when it comes to dog training, what's important is the relationship you create with your dog. Just be quiet. Thank you. He's working on quiet. He gets a little impatient whenever I'm not paying attention to him. So we try to redirect him into a focus or something else. Touch. Yay, good boy. Good job. And right now I'm just using really easy, simple cues that he knows very, very well to redirect him away from barking. Notice I'm not punishing him for barking. And that's because it's basically futile to punish a dog for doing something that they naturally do. You're going to accomplish a lot less by using any sort of corrections, especially at a young age. Like Beckett's only 10 months old. A dog younger than 6 months old, you even run the risk of creating possible lifelong trauma and negative associations with things that you don't want them to live their entire lives thinking they can't whine or bark for your attention. Of course, we prefer other behaviors, but that's when reinforcing those other behaviors comes in. So right now he's acting up, going to wait. Hey, look at me, up here. Thank you, good. Touch, yes, good. Down. Great, and he's being rewarding for touching and downing and not for barking at me. And I don't want you to understand me incorrectly here. We do use corrections in positive training. We just don't use any sort of physical harm or scare tactics to force the dog into doing what we're asking for. We instead utilize what's called a no reward marker, which basically uses what's called negative punishment as a way to letting the dog know that they're doing something incorrectly, and maybe we need to try again. So whenever Beckett fails a cue, especially a cue I know he knows, something like a sit or a stay, he gets a very firm and we try it again. And if he fails once again, then once again he would get the and this time we would just make it easier for him to succeed. And that there's a fine line there, and a kind of like an area in which you're going back and forth, and that's how you build strong, reliable skills. I do want to let you know that this process of positive training does take a long time. Yes, this is a lifelong commitment, and I look at it like a lifelong commitment. When you get a puppy for the first time, you can't expect them to be trained, you know, by the 6-month mark or the 8th month mark or the 10-month mark. If you put a number on it, you're setting your expectations probably a little too high. And then whenever your dog fails to meet those expectations, you can become frustrated, the dog can become frustrated, and instead of making progress, you're going backwards and losing that motivation that keeps you going forward. Quiet. Thank you. Touch. Yay. Good job. I really think that the relationship with your dog is what's important. And when you build a relationship based on mutual respect and understanding, it really just goes forward a lot faster. And I think the experience of creating that bond with your dog is better than any sort of gimmick you could buy, you know, that maybe, I don't know, shocks your dog or pokes your dog, or any sort of training that, you know, you roll them over and give them a shake or whatever. I really think that the experience of bonding with your dog is a lot more important in the long run, and creates just a better relationship in the household, outside of the household. And yes, it may take you a year, it may take you 2 years even to, you know, have a dog that reaches your expectations, but that's okay. You have them for another 7, 8, 9 years, or perhaps even longer, depending on the breed of dog you have. So why not? Why would you choose the training method that doesn't create that bonding, loving relationship of respect and understanding? Why would you choose something else? It's almost like I see no downfall in it. Yes, it takes longer, but I have my entire life with them, you know, or at least their entire lives with us. So use it, learn about positive training. It's fun. It's fun for the dog, it's fun for you. It's less frustrating. It runs less risk of creating negative associations with things that you wouldn't want to create negative associations with, because it's not so dependent on you being perfect with your timing on when you're buzzing the dog or anything weird like that. No, it's just a understanding relationship, and all you need to do is, you know, utilize your positive reinforcement and utilize your negative punishment, and that bond will grow. I promise it will. As long as you're doing everything correctly, there is no way that you can ultimately fail. And just to dive a little bit deeper as to what negative punishment is, I know it sounds really bad, like hitting the dog with a newspaper or something. No, all negative punishment is, hey, shh, that right there. We use a marker word. In this case is with Beckett. I've been using for the past 5 months. So whenever he hears he knows, okay, I did something incorrectly. Now I'm not getting a treat. That's all negative punishment is. It's removing the ability for the dog to receive a treat for doing, you know, performing an unwanted behavior. At the end of the day, I want you to do your own research and find what's best for you and your dogs. But most importantly, make sure you're utilizing methods that are scientifically backed, and don't fall prey to any sort of gimmick anybody tries to sell you, especially when you don't know how to utilize it correctly and properly. And I really, most importantly, above all, encourage you to try the positive reinforcement and negative punishment and positive training overall, because it really does create a relationship that you cannot find anywhere else, and you cannot replicate with any other training methods.